Every forest keeps secrets, every river guards memories, and every living creature, small or mighty, fights a quiet battle for survival. This is the tale of Aurelia Forest, a place where destinies intertwine, an aging elephant matriarch, a starving young leopard, an ancient tree, and a boy who saw what others ignored. All their paths would cross on the day the forest cried out in its deepest pain.
The sun rose slowly above Aurelia's treetops, washing the forest in soft gold. Mist hung low between trunks older than history, while birds stitched melodies into the fresh morning air. In the heart of this forest walked Lira, a 60-year-old elephant matriarch. Her skin bore the cracks of time, her tusks curved like pale moons, but her eyes, deep and amber, carried the weight of generations. Tumbling at her side was Nim, her 6-year-old calf, playful, fearless, and full of mischief. "Stay close," Lira warned gently. "I am close," Nim chirped, racing in circles. As they made their way to the waterhole, the forest unfurled around them like a living tapestry. Monkeys leaping branches, deer grazing peacefully, thunder rumbling far away. Yet beneath all the life, something unspoken drifted in the air. A silence under the songs, a hidden warning, a change creeping forward unseen. Ending branch lay Asha, a young leopard. Her golden coat shimmered with rosettes, her gaze sharp and hungry. Too hungry. 3 days had passed since she last ate. Every move was careful, measured. Her muscles were taut with desperation. Below her, a herd of deer grazed quietly until they sensed her presence. Their ears twitched, their heads rose, and then they vanished into the trees. Asha closed her eyes, swallowing frustration. "Hunger teaches patience," she whispered, "but patience feeds no one." Climbing down silently, she caught the scent of elephants, Lira, and Nim. "Too large, too dangerous," she murmured. She would never harm a calf, not when she herself had survived motherless, clinging to life alone. But fate was already building the bridge between their worlds.
Stood the elder, a towering tree with branches that held decades of stories and roots that drank from ancient earth. Birds nested in its arms, leopards rested upon its limbs, elephants rubbed their backs against its bark. The elder was not merely a tree, it was memory itself. It remembered rains that fell faithfully each week, nights filled with undimmed stars, a vast forest that once stretched twice its size. Now, smoke sometimes drifted from the village, axes echoed more often. Aurelia felt thinner, weaker. Still, the elder stood strong until the day it couldn't. A 13-year-old boy with curious eyes and a soul that felt more at home among trees than among people. While other children played games, Riyan wandered the forest with a notebook, sketching footprints, leaves, feathers, everything that whispered life. His mother often scolded, "Animals are dangerous," but Riyan only smiled. "They're only dangerous when we are." One afternoon, as he drew beneath the elder tree, an unsettling quiet settled around him, the first sign of the tragedy that was coming. A sharp scent in the wind, smoke. Her ears widened, her body stiffened. "Mother?" Nim whimpered. Lira smelled again. Smoke mingled with metal. "Humans!" "Stay close," she ordered. Animals fled in every direction, birds screaming overhead, monkeys leaping wildly, deer sprinting in terror. The forest trembled, and at its center stood the elder tree. Fire before it touched him, a spark, a flame, a roar. Villagers arrived with torches and axes. They wanted farmland. They wanted wood. They wanted everything the forest was made of. To them, the forest was not a home. It was a resource. As the flames ate into the elder's bark, centuries of memories dissolved into ash, rainfall, wildlife, generations of footsteps. Asha watched from afar, chilled by the familiar smell of destruction. The same scent that had taken her mother, Lira arrived with a thunderous cry. Nim hid behind her trembling legs. Riyan sprinted through the smoke, knees scraped, lungs burning. He arrived just in time to watch the great elder collapse in a shower of sparks. A part of Aurelia died with it, and something broke inside each witness. Hours. Animals fled blindly. Birds abandoned their nests. Leopards sank deeper into shadows. Elephants stood near the river in trembling silence. That night, the forest felt hollow, like a ghost of its former self. Riyan lay awake on his roof, staring at the orange glow in the sky. His voice trembled as he whispered, "I have to do something." But he was only a child. Would anyone listen? Fire had pushed prey far from Aurelia. Asha grew weaker, her ribs pressing against her skin, her legs shaking with each step. One evening, she found a dying deer, wounded while trying to flee the fire. She approached to feed, then stopped. Its eyes were full of fear, begging, waiting. Asha lowered her head. "This forest hurts," she murmured. "Not just you, all of us." She stayed until the deer took its last breath. Only then did she feed. Even predators wept for the forest. To the village elders, the chief, any adult who would listen, but they dismissed him. "It's only a tree. We need land. You're just a child." Heartbroken, he sat beneath a neem tree and cried. Then, through tears, he made a vow. "I won't let them destroy the forest. I promise." Somewhere deep within Aurelia, the forest heard him. 3 days later, Nim wandered after a yellow butterfly and slipped near a ravine. The ground crumbled beneath him, and he tumbled down, crying in terror. Lira screamed, "Nim!" Her cry shook the forest. Asha, resting nearby, leapt to her feet. Riyan, sketching by the river, dropped everything and ran. They all reached the ravine at once. Nim was wedged between rocks, injured, frightened. Repeatedly, her panic was overwhelming. Riyan stepped forward and touched her trunk gently. "Please, trust me." Lira didn't understand his words, but she felt the sincerity in his touch. She stepped aside, just enough. Riyan climbed toward Nim, cutting his hands and knees on sharp stones. Asha watched from above, tail flicking nervously. Nim was too heavy to move. Riyan needed help. He needed something, or someone. Then Asha appeared at the top of the ravine. Lira froze, instinct screaming danger. But Asha didn't move toward Nim. She approached Lira slowly, respectfully. Then, with remarkable understanding, she pushed a fallen log toward the ravine. It slid down near Riyan. Using the log for leverage, Riyan lifted Nim's upper body. Lira extended her trunk. Riyan wrapped it around Nim. Together, the boy, the matriarch, and the misunderstood predator pulled the calf to safety. When Nim reached the top, Lira wrapped him tightly in her trunk and cried relief-filled rumbles. Riyan collapsed from exhaustion. Asha slipped quietly back into the forest. But she had saved them. She had saved something far bigger. Riyan's connection to the forest deepened. Lira trusted him. Nim greeted him joyfully whenever he visited. Riyan no longer begged the villagers. He inspired them. He rallied students, teachers, even children. They created posters, filmed videos, spread awareness, and shared the story of the elders' fall. Slowly, the village changed. Tree cutting was banned near Aurelia. Forest guards were appointed. Sustainable practices were taught. For the first time in years, Aurelia breathed freely. Resting on a sunlit cliff, they shared a long, silent moment. Predator and human, connected not by fear, but by respect. "Thank you," Riyan whispered, "for helping Nim." Asha blinked slowly in acknowledgement. Then she walked away into the golden morning, vanishing like a graceful shadow. Grew into a wildlife conservationist. Lira lived to see Nim become a strong, wise bull. Asha raised cubs of her own, teaching them survival and compassion. The forest flourished again. Birds singing louder, rivers running clearer, trees standing taller. And sometimes late at night, Riyan sat where the elder once stood. Eyes closed, heart open, he listened, not to the sound of destruction, but to the symphony of life. A whisper, a heartbeat, a promise. Aurelia would never be silent again.